What's cracking, everybody? Today we're going to take an inside look at my Hotwax 2-part. So while you guys are watching this video, I am currently out in China on a 2-week Santa Cruz trip. I just tried to get a keys video for you guys today to have that come out today, but unfortunately I got to the park and it started raining on me. I do want to get more involved with putting out keys videos, so if you guys need help with any certain tricks or have any trick suggestions that you'd like to see me cover in my keys videos, please drop a suggestion below in the comments. But other than that, we're going to get into checking out my Hotwax 2-part. So this video was also called Hotwax Shred the Gnar, and this was right around the time when I started skating with Chris Cole, Ian Barry, and the whole Hotwax squad. This video came out in 2007, so I was like 16, 17 years old while filming it. I feel like this video, though, really helped put me on the map. Like having Chris Cole in the video, I feel like everyone watched it, and then while watching it, they would get introduced to me. So it definitely helped play a part in the like trajectory of my career, or at least like introducing me to more of the skate world that wouldn't have known about me otherwise. Basically, I'm just gonna watch the video, and if anything stands out to me, or there's a story or a spot I want to talk about, I'm gonna try and go trick for trick and kind of give you a little more inside look at the whole video. So let's get into it. All right, so off the rip, obviously I'm about to eat shit right here, but also this was in the early days. I think I might have been getting flow for Fallen at the time, or kind of hooked up through Fallen. So obviously I'm like Cobra striped hoodies, my gear's slimmer. It's awesome looking back at all this footage and seeing like all the changes and stuff you've made over the years, but obviously influenced by who I was around, and those Cobra hoodies were pretty damn sick, I'm not gonna lie. Still don't really know what happened. I guess I just got in and it slipped off and I couldn't catch myself in time, tripped over my own feet. I mean, just ate shit. Some of me goofing off, you know, standard procedures. Okay, so this spot, this was in Westchester, PA, I think. It's called Dust Bowls. It wasn't your normal like traditional bank hip, so it actually kind of boosted you a little bit, and they landed. I don't know, it was a cool spot. Not something I would normally skate, especially nowadays. So cool looking back on it. That I got this little weird transition hip backside flip in there. This spot was always so fun. For a while, we were going here like every single weekend. It was just some planter ledges that I don't know who necessarily popped the angle iron onto it, but they were just two perfect ledges with angle iron on them. It was the best. The ground was good, just regular parking lot ground. You go there on the weekend, no one ever bother you really. The angle iron would get taken off and put back on, so sometimes we would go there, there'd be no angle iron. If you're out there and you're watching this video, let me know if you put the angle iron on this spot. But this spot was always super fun. Ah, this ollie. So at the time, this was probably the biggest ollie I've ever done. I want to say maybe a 9-10 stair over the rail with an extra curb at the end, so it's kind of a drop. And at the time, I was shooting for a Focus skate mag. It was like a local mag to Philadelphia area. It might have been up and down the whole East Coast, Focus skate mag. I can't really remember. But I was doing a little interview for them, and we were out shooting with Mike Mazer, who was the photographer. Pretty cool ollie. I'd always see this spot because right over here to the left, there is a tattoo shop that all the homies would get tattooed at. And we always drove by this spot all the time. So we had to bond with the crack a little bit and light it up with the Jenny and lights, old school style, and worked out though. Got the ollie. This spot, I don't know if I've talked about this spot on one of these videos yet. This spot right here is in Upen in Philly. Super sketchy spot. You gotta walk inside the school essentially, and this is a courtyard that's like within the school. So you can only get in here if you sneak in behind a student that has a key card, and you grab the door before it closes, and you get to skate this perfect marble 8 stair. Coolest spot, but we've gotten busted there a few times for sure. I think I got tickets one time, and every other time we would try and like run, or sometimes they would just kick you out. We just felt like you're obviously trespassing, considering you went in a door that you don't have an ID card to get in. So they were not very happy with us at this spot, but always was like the best 8s there. If I had any flip trick that I wanted to try down something, I always thought of this one, but it was always like if we wanted to mission it or not. And I like how I'm rocking the white hat here, dude. The white beanie I ran for a little bit though. We were skating Cecil B in Philly, which is like a flat ground spot in Philly on Temple campus. And there was all these vendors set up at the top of the street, and dude had a white beanie. I don't know why it caught my eye, but I bought this white beanie off the vendor in Philly and I rocked it hard. When I was done with it, that thing was not very white anymore, to be honest. The thing was pretty gross. Damn, this spot is so good. Another spot that's just gone. This is Drexel 5 blocks. This was at Drexel campus in Philly. Perfect 5 block. I think this is one of the first times I skated it, but at the time this was nothing. I know like Wecking Ball, I think switch fronts, I flipped this right around the same time, but for me, frontside flip was nice. Oh, the Drexel Hill post office box. I don't know if it's still there or not, but such a sick spot because you can actually push a button and raise and lower this thing. And then also on the opposite side of it, there's a flat bar that you could skate. I've had a ton of tricks on this thing over the years. It's one of my favorite spots. Also sketchy though. You got to like crawl through a hole in the fence. Then you're at a post office and it always feels a little bit sketchy if you get caught back there because all the gates are locked and we're fucking with the height of the thing. Ended up lighting this one up too. I guess we skated a lot at night back then. I feel like I barely skate at night anymore with like Jenny and lights and stuff. So it's always cool looking back on all this night footage. Oregon ledges in Philly. These things are still there and they're not bad. They're made out of really good granite, but the ground's just not the best. Switch front shoves and nollie 180 heel. So this spot's actually my high school. Well, I don't know if I was in school at this time. I had to be, right? I think I might have been in school at this time. I don't know. I was probably 16, 17 years old. I don't know if I had gotten signed out of school yet at this time or not. Hit or miss kick out wise, but it was always such a good 7 stair. Still good, still there. I skated it in my Santa Cruz. I forget what that video was called where I like took them around a lot of the hometown spots and spots I grew up skating. The ground's a little cheese grater-ish. You fall, it's gonna rip you up for sure, but it's smooth to ride on. I tried to switch varial heel this stair one time and got so damn mad. I could not land switch varial heel down this thing. I ended up focusing my board. One of the only times I've ever gotten mad enough to focus my board. Might be the only time actually. So this backside 180 nose grind, it's in Cinnaminson, New Jersey at a park. We always used to skate this gap that the metal box is over right now. It was basically just a big container that held stuff for the park, like next to it. I think we just dragged it over there, dude, and skated it like a hubba down this gap. It was pretty dope. I think this is right around the time where I was learning backside 180 nose grinds too. I don't think I've done one before this. Oh, dude, actually, about this Smith grind, Ian and Chris were kind of taking the fallen dudes around skating spots, and we ended up here. This is the first time I ever skated this rail. Got the Smith grind with everybody hanging out. This was probably one of the biggest rails I've skated at the time, and I think I was just fired up because all the fallen dudes were there. Currently, as we speak, this building is getting completely torn down. I drove by it the other day going to Radnor Park, and it's fully like in crumbles right now. But yeah, this Smith grind is one of the biggest rails I skated at that time. Skating this stair set with the short ride up, and I remember wheel biting and going into the grass. I remember leaving this spot so fucking itchy. I don't know what was in this grass, but I was struggling after that one. Oof. Oof. See, that's when you know though, you know, you're just a little kid out getting tricks, man. 50-50 kickflip. 50-50 kickflip. Hometown spot though. Right in Humeville, Pennsylvania. Very close by. Yeah, not my proudest moment, the 50-50 kickflip, but hey, it happened nonetheless. This spot was always so fun to skate. It was out in Lansdale, Pennsylvania, right by that Lansdale park we skated the other day, actually. I don't know if it's still there or not. Used to be at a Chinese restaurant. Always a super fun spot to skate. You had to push pretty hard to it, but perfect bump over flat. And if you could see right here, you see my head right here? I don't know what the deal was with this, but I was rocking a shoelace for the longest time. A shoelace. It was like probably a few months that I just rocked this shoelace as keep my hair out of my face, you know, instead of a hat or a beanie, I was rocking this shoelace. I don't know why, but there's a lot of clips where I have shoelace. This is City Hall bench right here. Pretty OG spot at the old City Hall in Philly. It's gone now, obviously. It's funny because I didn't really do a nose grind pop out. I did like a nose grind and I bonk off that thing. Like I kind of bonk off the L ledge right there and it kind of popped me right over. It felt cool. And then you could take the other marble piece out, so it's just like a ledge over grate. And again, not my proudest moment, okay? I was just learning front crooks, be nice, but I fully missed the pinch here, and I'm gonna own that, all right? That's on me. This is kind of early days, though. This was like before the pinch was like you had to pinch a front crook or you were whack, right? Let myself slide a little bit, but I should have known better. Should have known better. Back at this spot for another line. Am I rocking the shoelace in this? I don't think so. Dude, I'm doing weird ass tricks in this part now I think about it. Fakey Smith, front 180 out. Oh, this was also around the time where I was getting Baker flow. There's a Baker t-shirt and a Baker board. I got like 1 box from Baker, I think. And then I started getting 0 boards again. Backside Biggie. This I'm pretty sure was the first big spin I've ever done down anything before I could really even do that trick. Temple 8, another perfect 8s there, man. This was the OG Temple 8. So, and then if you go up this 4 and to the left, there's the OG 12 stair as well. That like Reynolds, I think, what do you do? Nollie nose side the rail, ollied up, and then frontside flip the set. So damn sick. But we were out skating with Ryan G, actually, the OG Philly photographer Ryan G. He actually shot a sequence of, you can see the flashes going off at the bottom down there. If you look over here where they're reflecting, shot a sequence of that big spin for me. Pretty stoked on that. Got a G photo. This is Upen in Philly. Same spot as that 8's there, but different location on campus. But it's got to be one of my favorite ledge spots of all time. Of all time. Still there too. Also rocking the shoelace still right here. I remember this spot being a super random find. Like, we were just driving by one day and saw this loading dock, checked it out, had angle iron on it, ended up finding all this shit to set up to be a bump to it. And very random, very last minute spot, but we got the kickflip back 5 on that thing, which I don't really do kickflip back 5s anymore. I got to bring that back. I always just kickflip nose grind now. Switch flip up, full cab over. But always just a cool spot, a little up the curb over the guardrail spot, nothing crazy. So there's the flat bar that I was talking about. This is the flat bar at the post office spot. Such a cool ass spot. I remember this backsmith being super scary though, because I kept thinking I was gonna bonk on the way up, because it's like offset a little bit. You can see there's like a curb-ish sort of thing right here. So you pop kind of far away, and I was so nervous I wasn't gonna get over far enough and hit on the way up and just get smoked. Luckily that never happened. Switchboard slide. Hell yeah. Jersey rail. This was also a super random spot. We just saw it like all fucked up off the side of the road. This is downtown Philly. 50-50 back 180 over the little nubber. I'm down. Or this ledge was fresh at the time. We had to like wax the shit out of this thing to get it to grind. It was at some just business complex. We didn't really think anything of it, but we got busted here for skating. Actually busted here. The cops came. We ended up having to do like weeks of community service at a park right around the corner from this place. We had to pick up like horse shit and chop wood and just do all sorts of weird stuff around this park in the area, like cleanup stuff, you know what I mean? But we never ended up having to do the full time, because the dude that was in charge of writing our hours for our community service actually skated or used to skate. And Ian at the time, Ian Berry, was running the skate shop. So he was able to give the dude like a fresh set of indies, and the dude just wrote in our hours. We never went back. I think we had to do like half of the amount that we actually were supposed to do. Worked out pretty sick. This gap right here, I remember having to go so fast to skate this gap. It's like it's not a flat gap, but it's just a really long, low gap. Oh no, maybe I'm tripping. I switch heeled this too. I think the switch heel was hard. The backside flip, I think, worked pretty easily. But I remember this was another photo I think I had in in the Focus article as well from this part. Still rocking the shoelace as well. Back at the China bump. AC. I think this is Atlantic City, and I don't know why I didn't do this again, bro. I don't know why I didn't. It always bothered me, and I ran it for some reason. I don't know why. Weird line again. Weird trick selection. Kickflip back lip on a ledge. Haven't done one of those in years. I don't really lip slide ledges anymore. Like, I used to be into that. Now I kind of don't like lip slides on ledges. Also a backwards line. Kickflip back lip and then back tail. I don't know. It doesn't really make sense. But I fully got into Suski and then to back tail. And we just ran it anyway. Right after this happened, or on this same day, Ian locked his keys in his car. There's a clip in this video, if you watch the whole thing, I think it's at the beginning of Ian's part, where he smashes the window to his car with a hammer. And that's how we got back into the car. But he was not very happy after that. This is one of those spots at Drexel campus in Philly that we drive by all the time. And one day decided to actually 50-50 the thing. Roller coaster hubba. Little nollie backside flip action. So this was brand new at the time. Fresh double set, smooth ground. It was like a California type ground spot when it got built. So fresh. So we used to skate here all the time at night, but also it's kind of a busty spot. We've definitely gotten kicked out of here multiple times. Never in trouble though that I can remember, but I've heard about this being a spot that people used to get like tickets at and shit. Hospital Gap in Philly. I remember this being a photo as well that got used somewhere. I'm not sure. But this we had to try so many different times, because I would get like 2 tries, we get kicked out. Come back a different day, 2 tries, get kicked out. So many times until I actually just one day landed it. Oh, so these are those ledges out in King of Prussia, I think it was, like right by KOP Mall. I used to love this spot though, because we didn't have many like ledge spots like this. Look how cool it looks. It's got the overhang, and I think this spot's still there, but the benches are gone, unfortunately. Cool ass spot though. They got the Foreman Mills over the rail. This was another photo that I had in that same article. I'm pretty sure in Focus Mag. We just always liked this spot because it's the colors of it. I knew it would make for a good photo. So I just did the 180. I wasn't super stoked on just 180ing it, but the photo turned out cool, so we ended up just running it. Egypt gap switch backside flip. At the time, it's still to this day, I'm not good at switch backside flips. This is kind of one of the only ones I've ever really done that I can recall. I did a little rocket though. I'm not gonna lie, it's not my best work, but I was so hyped on this switch backside flip though at the time. I just kind of like flung it out there and ended up working. This gap though, because all the trucks used to pull up here, we used to call it grease gap as well, because where you landed was so slippery, and when you were done skating this thing, you were like covered in grease. It was a gnarly gap to skate, but a really good gap nonetheless. Look at that. Would you just look at that? Blunt stall kickflip, dude. Those two got to witness it right here, man. They got to witness that shit live and in person. I was talking to Shane about this not long ago, and he was like, dude, I can't believe you blunt kickflip that thing. It was so steep. And I'm like, it was kind of really quick and steep, but we had X Park at the time, which that little bowl corner at X Park actually had a super steep quarter pipe, and I was practicing them on that. So this wasn't too bad. For me to actually have a transition trick in my part, pretty insane. I'm down with it. I back it. Random switch heel in Jersey. I remember being on Red Bulls, dude. I remember having like 2 Red Bulls on the way to this spot, because at the time Chris wasn't even sponsored by Red Bull, but the Red Bull dudes would just send Chris Cole like cases of Red Bull, so we would always have them in the van, and while we're out skating for a while we were on a Red Bull tip, man, getting fired up. But I remember this was a late mission, a couple Red Bulls deep, and got the switch heel on the grass gap, man. So funny. So this is actually at that same rail that this is at the same spot of the rail that I Smith grinded. This rail's perfect though. It's a little like corner pocketed 6-stair rail, but kind of a shame that this thing's going to be probably gone. I assume it's getting taken out with the whole building. But the only bad thing about this is you have to ollie up a curb and then set up your feet and then skate the rail. This kickflip I remember being so hyped on, dude. I don't know if we shot a photo of this or not, but this was Old City 12. The ride up is kind of like a swoop, so you almost feel like you're bumping off this 12 stair. Like not extreme, but like you kind of get the effect that you're like bumping off this 12 stair. And it was also a quick kick out because it's an apartment building, and you started skating there and it was loud. Everyone would just get so pissed at you. But I think the same day that I did this, if I can recall, see the next clip. Yeah, I'm pretty sure because I'm wearing the same exact thing. I think I did that kickflip and this lip slide the same day. Both at quick kick out spots, man. I remember being so scared of this lip slide though, because that little kink at the bottom. I was like, if I hit on the way up and sack this thing, I'm going to get scorpioned to my face on the floor. Luckily, that did not happen. But this lip slide is at Federal Building in Philly. Top, they have some OG ledges. People used to skate where Maldonado like ollies up onto the one ledge and then ollies the big ass. It's unreal that he did that, but ollies the next ledge. I've also skated this rail again in more recent video parts. I backlipped it in my mystery color theory part, I think, and then switch front boarded it in pro spotlight part. But this was a front lip, which I don't do a lot of front lips. Front feeble Delaware rail. This rail it's still there, but they changed it a little bit. But this rail was perfect. But another late mission spot, because you had to wait for this store right here. I forget what it was at the time. Now it's like a chicken restaurant. I had to wait for this to close. I think it closed at like 11. So you had to go around midnight to skate this rail. This rail was the perfect length. It was actually kind of long. At the time, it was scary because it was long. Perfect height to get into. But now what changed about it is took the rail out at some point. And when they put it back in, it sits like 2 inches higher now. So it's kind of gnarlier now. And people don't skate it as much. They also did some changes to the building here. And there's like a pillar that is more invasive than it used to be. But it is still there and still skatable. It's just a little bit gnarlier now. I remember being hyped on that front feed. Switch flip, Ukraine 9. Is that my ender? Oh, it was. Okay. I can't believe how much I skated at night back then. But yeah, this switch flip, I just always liked the way I caught it. It was super like... not tweaked out, but just out in front of me a little bit. And this set was just tall. So as long as you got the drop and took the impact, you were good to go, man. That's going to do it for my Hotwax shred the Gnar part. Those were all good times. And it's funny to kind of look back on trick selection, my clothing style, just everything, how it was back then. Pretty cool to reminisce on a little bit. I wish I had a keys video for you guys today, like I said, but got rained out. So I'm going to try and get on them keys videos though, now that the kids are back in school and I have a lot of that solo time again to skate. I do want to start getting back to the keys videos and kind of, you know, helping you guys out a little more. But as always, I appreciate you guys for watching all the videos, liking all the videos, commenting, just engaging. It does mean a lot to me, man. But I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, like and subscribe, and I'll catch you guys in the next one. Peace, yo.